Hello everybody, welcome to the first lecture of this Unit 4 of Module 5, Narrative Medicine. In this unit, we are going to learn about the different tools and instruments that can be useful to approach an analysis of empirical materials from the perspective of narrative medicine. In this unit, we will try to learn how to proceed with the patient and family stories, orienting ourselves towards the analysis of narratives, trying to unravel the potential that lies in them. For the collection, evaluation, and analysis of data within narrative medicine, there is also a method, which we will try to explain in the following lectures. Modern medicine has few tools to measure and evaluate everything that refers to the personal meanings of patients, to approach the inner suffering, moral pain, despair, or grief that almost always accompany the illnesses people suffer from. Psychology seems to be the only discipline within biomedicine that does not dispute that talking and listening is therapeutic. As you have seen in the previous units, narrative medicine refers, according to Sharon, to clinical practice that takes into account and implements narrative competence, the ability to recognize, absorb, metabolize, interpret, and be moved by the stories of illness. It would therefore be medicine practiced by someone who knows what to do with stories. Brunner distinguishes two forms of human cognition: the logical scientific, science of the concrete, and narrative, science of the imagination. Logical scientific reasoning tries to understand specific phenomena as samples of general laws, while narrative reasonings try to understand them in terms of human experience and purpose. Mainstream research is based primarily on the former. Narrative medicine falls within the qualitative research paradigm. We differentiate between two methods, which correspond to those two forms of human cognition Brunner spoke of: the quantitative method and the qualitative method. The quantitative method includes those strategies for obtaining and processing information that use numerical magnitudes and formal and statistical techniques to carry out the analysis of an object of study, always from the cause-effect relationship, obtaining a series of conclusions that can be expressed in a general way in mathematical form. The data with which we work, therefore, will be numerical data, or at least they could be translated numerically. This type of method is the one used hegemonically by science, especially in biomedicine, and on which clinical practice is largely based. Unlike quantitative methods, qualitative methods use interpretative techniques to obtain discursive results. Qualitative methods aims to collect discourses around an object of study in order to interpret them, looking for cultural and ideological aspects rather than numerical data. The qualitative method tries to understand the natural and everyday context of the phenomenon under study, considering the meanings attributed to it and the evaluation that people make. It has traditionally been the method used by the social science, such as anthropology, although more recently, and in the case in point, it is becoming increasingly important for a part of medicine. Framed within the comprehensive naturalist interpretative paradigm, the qualitative method has the following characteristics. It seeks understanding and interpretation of reality by placing itself in the perspective of the people under investigation, whom it understands as reflective and thinking subject. It tries to understand the phenomena from the point of view of the people involved in the phenomenon being studied. Holistic vision emphasizes the context. Research must be socioculturally sensitive. It assumes that the whole is more than the sum of its parts and tries to grasp it holistically in all its complexity. It aims to obtain intensive knowledge, to understand the phenomenon here and now as deeply as possible. It prioritizes in-depth knowledge over extensive knowledge. It understands knowledge as processual. Research and knowledge must be understood as a dynamic and changing process. It does not pretend to find universal law. It seeks more moderate and situational generalization as a result of cross-case generalization. It must be possible to bring together local contextual theories to build formal theory that increase the generality of the findings. The research team is never objective or neutral. Impartiality. Researchers influence the research, which in turn influences then whatever research paradigm is used. Focusing on action and change. All research is carried out so that knowledge of the reality being studied can be used to change and improve it. Our data in narrative-based medicine will be words, texts, stories. Stories do not convince by their objective truth, but by their emotional impact on the reader, which is achieved through literary features such as aesthetic appeal. The story is perceived as poignant, humorous, or ironic, for example. Metaphor, something acquires greater meaning through subjective comparison with another. And moral order. Actors are constructed as heroes who get their just reward and villains who deserve punishment. Spirituality refers to how individuals seek and express meaning and purpose, and how they experience connection to the moment, to self, to others, to nature, and to the meaningful or sacred. The World Health Organization identifies spirituality as a fundamental dimension of health, which can sustain people in times of distress. Critical illnesses, for example, raise common existential questions about meaning, purpose, relationship, and destiny. With the globalization of society, the world is becoming increasingly spiritually and culturally diverse. Therefore, it seems quite important to know this world, to be able to approach as professionals to the stories that are kept within the space of spirituality of patient, relative, and also of the health professionals themselves. To approach spirituality is to approach a space of ideologies, beliefs, and interpretations about the orders and morality of the world. This space, the framework of spirituality, can hardly be expressed through numbers. Therefore, it is important to know the narrative that is hidden in this space. This is the end of Lecture 1. See you in the next lecture.